Subtle skills, big results.
Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast.
Hey everyone, it's your good friend Eric Thompson. Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast. Here's the question for you to think about as you get ready to listen to this podcast. Do you run a team? And would you like that team to run even better? Or have you ever thought about running a team and you would like to know how to do it the ninja way? Well, our guest today is going to help with the answers to those questions. We're excited to have back on the podcast. It's the ninja extraordinaire, John Zickert. John, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, Eric. Thanks. It's great to be back. And as always, this is a fun time.
This is going to be a lot of fun together, John. You really delivered before. We wanted to have you back because of some new things that you're doing, new results that you're getting. So we're excited to learn about that. The first thing we want to do is just have you share where you're located and also tell us the company that you're with.
Thanks, Eric. Yep, I'll do my best to turn the value meter up today. So there are some good takeaways. I'm in northern Michigan in a beautiful small town called Beulah. We're just on the coast, about 10 miles off of Lake Michigan. And I'm with the wonderful company Real Estate One. We're based here in Detroit, Michigan, down in Southfield. And we've got offices across the state.
I have not been to where you live, but I want to go. It sounds incredible. As a boater, I would really like to go there.
That's right. We were talking about wake boating. And you can come out, visit us. Crystal Lake, northern Michigan is where it's at.
Yeah, don't tempt me. That sounds great. Hey, John, one thing we want to do right up front is
Sure.
Congratulate you on yet another really, really good year. 2025, your team's volume was 66.6 million. You helped with 151 transactions, and that was up considerably from the year before. 2024, you had 55.6 million in volume. So you raised your volume by 11 million. 2024, you had 120 transactions. So your volume went up 20%, and the number of transactions that you helped with went up by 26%. So everyone in the Ninja Nation is congratulating you on those numbers.
Well, thank you.
Those are terrific. Already at a high level, like I said, but then you raised it up even more. We're going to get into how you did it. Why don't you, just to clarify, how is your team set up?
So as a team leader, I had a great mentor down the road in my previous life with Marriott tell me to surround myself with great people and great things are going to happen. Don't be afraid to bring people in that may be more skilled than you in certain things. So as I built the team, they were people I knew in the community that had no real estate experience really, but just were good people that I could see just thriving in this business. So I have 3 other full-time realtors on the team. One specifically works with buyers. The other 2 do a mix between buyers and sellers. My role as the team lead is mainly listings. And then obviously there's some time spent leading the team and guiding the team and in their daily activities or being there for them. And then I have a part-time marketing specialist. Used to work with me in the resort business prior to this. And she had a couple of job changes and decided to get back into the real estate world. So she does all of our marketing and handles our flow postcards and everything for us also.
And you've been growing this team incrementally over time. If we were to go back 2 years ago, what did the team look like?
Yeah, I started in 2013. And then Alicia, my admin assistant, decided to get her license and then really liked the business. So she jumped into the real estate world. And then Raquel came along about a couple of years later, and then Hayden about a year later. So, we've all been a solid team for at least 5 years now. And really have just grown in our roles throughout that time frame.
Got it. So you added a little bit to the number of people, but really where you've added is in capacity and also how you work together. And one thing I appreciate about you, John, I appreciate about your team is that you're really clear about your purpose and you let your purpose drive really everything you do. And so another way to say purpose is your mindset. So tell us about your team's purpose.
Yeah, I always had a hard time with mission statement and value statement and those things. And we decided just to call it our definitive purpose, right? So it was to create value for others. I'll just kind of read it. We're dependent on nobody but ourselves to do so. If we focus on creating value, we'll have all the business we need. So adopting the mentality that the business will be there. We just need to focus on what we're doing and how we treat our clients and the mindset that we come to work every day with. So we've really started out in the last podcast, I think I envisioned a house and the base of the house, the foundations, the mindset. If you don't have that, I think it's super hard to have the skill set in action if you don't get that mindset right. So we've really tried to dial in our mindset with our team.
Your purpose is 5 words: to create value for others. You've adopted the mindset of a go-giver. I mean, there you are, you're being a go-giver, your team's committed to being a go-giver. And if we were to come to your office or look at your team meeting agenda, would we see that purpose written? Like, how do you keep that top of mind?
Yeah, it is on our agenda that I put together for every meeting. We meet once a week as a team. And if I'm a solo agent, I know what's in the pipeline. I know what I got coming in, potential listings. I know what buyers' needs are. But as a team of 4 with 5 being a marketing specialist, you don't always know what the other person's doing. So we created the pipeline, which is kind of like our version of the hot list. So, but then back to your question, more importantly, is that value statement is on our meeting minutes. Every meeting we get, the first thing we look at is right in front of us, so we can't forget it, and we really stay focused on that. Anything we do in our business meetings, is it going to create value? If it's not, I can tell you we're not doing it, right? We're very particular on our flow, which we'll talk about later, but if that flow does not provide value, we're not doing it.
That's your filter. Is it valuable
the flow
or
filter,
not?
value filter, yeah.
I would imagine even in your team meetings, it's just all about values. So again, they have a 5-word purpose statement, which is to create value for others. And then they expand on that and they say, we are dependent on nobody but ourselves to do so. If we focus on creating value, we will have all the business we need. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
What % of your business comes from referrals from people already in your sphere?
Yeah, about 70%. That's a pretty good number. I don't have a lot of other ninjas to compare it to, but for us, we feel good about that referral business. We know we're doing something right in the initial transaction to get them to refer family and friends. We're proud of that number too, and we take that very seriously.
Yeah, as you should be. So how do you do it? Tell us all about your flow. Tell us all the things you do for flow.
Yeah, early on, flow for us, when it was recommended to do 2 postcards a month, we were a little hesitant, like that's a lot, going from 0. So as a group, we decided 1, but quickly that next year it's been 2, and it's been 2 ever since. So our flow 1 is a monthly newsletter. Again, that we had one kind of pre-produced, but we didn't like what it was doing. So my marketing person tweaks it a little bit, but it's got something of value with the local area, something the group's up to, some fundraiser we're doing or some local charity we're helping, and some real estate stuff mixed in. And then we've been having fun with our flow postcards twice a month, a science and an art. The art for us is totally something local. My favorite one was we have a couple alpaca farms in town. And we got a big headshot of an alpaca on the front and featured those 2 businesses in our postcards. And those 2 local businesses, be it small businesses, were so appreciative that we would take the time to recognize them and share it with our 500 to 700 folks that we're sending these things to. And then the science is usually just some type of real estate related topic, whether it's interest rates. We like graphs, the picture of the United States with that, because our clients are kind of across the whole United States. So we do focus on those, and we consistently have those once a month, or 2 postcards and 1 email.
And people all across the country, I would imagine the vast majority are there in your local market, but there are people across the country that...
Yeah, and me being a seller's agent, most of my clients sell their home to move on, but they still have ties to this area because it's a vacation area, resort home, second home market. So they're coming back to visit friends, and we just stay in touch because we become friends throughout the transaction. And this flow kind of helps us without calling them every week or every month to remind them, hey, we're thinking about you, and here's some fun stuff going on in our market.
And they remain part of what you call, John, the Z crew.
They do.
Right? So
yeah.
They're part of the Z crew. What happens for the people who are part of the Z crew?
I started this business in 2013 and had ninja sprinkled in throughout the first 5 or 7 years, and went to my first installation 4 or 5 years ago and had a panic attack thinking, I've got all these clients that I haven't been keeping in touch with. So how do I go back to them after 5 years, 7 years without being awkward? So we created this Z crew. My last name's Zickert, so the Z kind of went well. And we sent them a postcard, but in an envelope with their name on it, saying, hey, you're part of the Z crew. You've closed a transaction with us. We've enjoyed working with you, and we want to keep in touch. So we started out with a big mailing of all the clients that we've dealt with in the past and just invested in that. And now we'll do 2 Z Crew events, one in the summer and one in the fall. Being the second home market, a lot of our clients are renting their homes out, so they're not really up here. But we get about 60 people every summer and fall. We'll support a local restaurant. We'll promote the local restaurant. Part of our flow would be a save the date for these two yearly Z Crew events. And then there's an invite we send out to them. We put that in an envelope just so it's a little more official for the summer event and the fall event. And then, a little addition we've been doing is we're texting some of those platinum member clients, the A clients, to remind them about the event. And we'll do that like a couple weeks before. So that Z Crew really allowed us to stay in touch and keep them updated and stay in flow. And I've not had one person call me and say, hey, take me off your list. I don't want to get your mail anymore. So I think that's a good sign that what we're doing, it has some value to them.
It keeps them attached to a place that they love, even if they don't have property there. And you said it allows you to stay in flow with them, even if they don't come to the event, because they're being invited to it.
To tie in the personal notes, which we're passionate about. If you come to our party, each of us that have our clients come, we write a note to them after the party, thanking them for coming. It was great to see them and hope to see them again next year or at the next event. And just another touch point to tell them we appreciate them coming, because we do get some great conversations out of those Z Crew events. And it always seems like one or two people have some real estate need that they bring up at the event. And it's not the intent of that, but it does occur, gets them thinking about how we can help them, whether it's here in our market or we can refer them to somebody in their state.
Absolutely.
Working
Are
out
you
good.
noticing that people are building friendships within the Z Crew? People who maybe didn't know each other before, but now they're having a connection because they're a part of your crew.
Yeah, there was a special one where there were 3 clients that were ladies that were recently widowed. And I could tell they were all having a hard time, right? Because that's a big thing in someone's life. And we got them all at the same table when they met each other and just got to know each other. Now, I don't know if they connect afterwards, but it was kind of fun to try to create some of those friendships that you wouldn't create just out in the public because you're not having a chance to meet these people. So we could introduce everybody, and it was just fun seeing them enjoy the rest of the evening and conversation.
You're building a community of raving fans of you, but you're building a community of people who now have this great connection with each other. You also have fun with some swag. You have your own logo. What are some of the fun things you do as giveaways?
For closing gifts, people love the logoed Yeti mugs. So we'll be sharing those. And we also, for closing gifts, there's a local artist in town that does a lot of great pottery. And usually one of his pieces ends up in, the welcome or the thank you gift at closing. And for homes that have special meaning to people, he'll make a clay tile of their house. We give them a photo and they hand make this clay tile of their house. So if it's a family cottage that was in the family for 100 years and they finally sold it, they've got this really nice piece of art that's one of a kind, made locally by an artist that they can hang up in their house and hopefully look at it and have those great memories of what that property brought them over the years on Crystal Lake or Lake Michigan or whatever local lake they were on.
What an incredible idea, John. And you really believe in giving back to your community, highlighting people, highlighting businesses. Expand on that and give us examples of other ways that you like to do that.
Yeah, I think as a team, we noticed that there were a number of realtors that were spending a whole bunch of time on video. And video is great, but for us, everything had to have some value. So we really dialed in as if we're going to do something, we need to do it good. And we need to do it great, not just good. So as a team, we said, let's focus on one thing. Turned out the name kind of came up and everybody loved it. It's called Local Love. Each of us on the team, once a week, we do some type of local love segment on a local business or a local nonprofit. There was a baby pantry at a local church that Raquel and our team did a video and made the community aware of their need for diapers and for child supplies and how busy this place was. And you really find out there's a huge need in this community for that type of service that people might not have known about before. Or Storm Cloud Brew Pub in Frankfurt has a curling. So I know the owner from a previous life, and we did a segment on curling during the Olympics. So it was kind of fun. So we kind of look for those local businesses or nonprofits that we do a short Facebook video. Go to our Facebook, look up Local Love segment, and you'll see some of the stuff we're doing to promote the community.
Got it. I love that. It's so authentic to you, just how much you believe in your community and how much you want to support and highlight them. We started the podcast with sharing your numbers. You're up 20% year over year. And as we've been listening to your flow, Do you think that increase is caused by new things you were doing, or the fact that maybe you're doing more of something?
That's a great question. Yeah. So for us, I think it goes back to the Ninja 9. Now, moment of vulnerability. I'm not making my Ninja 9 every week, right? I miss my 50 sometimes, and I miss my 10 notes a week and try to make up for it. So our goal is always try to do the Ninja 9 85% of the time, give ourselves some grace. We'd rather do the Ninja 9 85% of the time than try to do it 50% of the time, 100% of the time, if my numbers make sense, right? So it's back to the basics. We fine-tuned our flow a little bit, but we're very careful not to look for the new shiny object, because there's a lot of shiny stuff coming at us right now with AI and all this kind of stuff. You could get lost in all that stuff and panicking. But for us, it seems so simple when you go through what the Ninja 9 is. It's back to the flow. It's back to the note cards. It's back to that human touch. I had a hard time sometimes getting that 50, right? And that's what we're training and we try to do. And then I realized I'm in the community. I'm at kids' basketball games. I'm at kids' football games, or I'm at the grocery store. And I started to have more thorough conversations with people that I would have just walked by and said, hey, how you doing? But now I'm having so much more fun getting to know people better and just about the stuff I'm learning about people that I've just said hi to for years. So I think we're building better relationships in the community, not with the intent of real estate. Real estate never comes up, and they're the ones that bring it up if it does. So I just realized that 50 is not phone calls and stuff, and I knew that, but I'm focusing more on when I'm out to dinner with my family and you see some people it's like having a second to say hi to them, and just building those relationships in the community is really strengthened. So it's been about doing the Ninja 9 more consistently. Did we miss a flow postcard once a month because something came up? Yeah, but we're back on track. We have it planned out for the year. So it's that stuff consistently, and it's the relationships that we're building and we're focusing on more than anything. We're not trying to do some new thing. It's like back to the Ninja 9. It just kind of keeps us focused, really.
So your 20% increase is not from, and tell me if I have this right, it's not from you launching some new big initiative.
Nope.
It's really from you being consistent.
Yeah.
Week after week, build up those activities and be okay with not being perfect. If we were 85% perfect just about every week of the year, instead of some weeks we hit 100%, but then some weeks we don't do anything. So it's about those consistent activities.
Well, I think it's giving yourself grace too. When you don't hit those numbers, we're our own worst critic probably, and we know what we want to achieve. And if you're like me, we're very driven and provide great service and accomplish what we're being asked to accomplish or we're choosing to accomplish. And it took us a while to say, okay, I'm not hitting everything, but over the year, was I 85% or higher? And I'm going to feel good about that.
Yeah. And consider that a win. Yeah. It's about that incremental improvement, that it's about that commitment. One thing that you are committed to and one thing that you have been refining is your team meeting. And I think for anyone who runs a team now, or maybe you're thinking about starting a team, what you're about to hear is really the template for how to run a team meeting.
Yeah, this one has just grown so much over the course of the last 2 years. From what we each get out of that meeting, we just feel like if we're not having one because we're all gone or someone's on vacation, it hurts not having it a little bit, and we'll do it if there's 3 of us, but I think it's important that we have an agenda. We meet once a week, usually about an hour, but sometimes an hour and a half if we're on a good topic. But we start the meeting with a gratitude. A little bonus, Eric, I hadn't told you about this, but we just added this last week. We all go through the business planning. I'm part of the Ninja coaching, so I follow that for the last 3 years now. In different topic, but we want to stress that too, how important that is. But we have a word of the year, and we actually shared it with everybody this year. Oddly enough, we hadn't shared it in years past, and that's part of our agenda now too. It's on the agenda. We had little bookmarks my wife made up with their word of the year, so when they're reading every day for 10 minutes, they can use as a bookmark. But now we're talking about how we applied that word of the year the previous week.
So my word of the year, for example, is elevate. So if I was there in your team meeting, I would share, this is how I elevated last week. And I love that. So it's more than just share what your word is, share how you're living that word.
Yeah, and that was thanks to Tracy, my coach. And I shared this with her, and she's like, how about if you did this? How about if you started to share how you lived that word of the year? The gratitude's been kind of mandatory, but I don't have to make it mandatory because we're coming to the meeting with something. And it's kind of fun to see how at first they were like, I can't think of anything, and now it's just flowing. And it's fun because we're learning more about each other that we probably wouldn't have learned just in normal conversation. And then this word of the year has kind of taken off where if you want to share something, great. If you don't, it's fine, but it's kind of reinforcing that word of the year for us too. So it's not just something I do in a business plan and leave it sit there till next year. I got to have a new word. I'm getting a label maker and making up a bunch of words, of the year, a label maker, so they can stick them on their computer and their car dashboard, or I've got one in my vanity drawer in my bathroom. So every morning I get up, I can see what my word of the year is, which is unstoppable. I just kind of use that, and we use our words to just keep us rolling. So we'll get through the gratitudes and the word of the year. We have a pipeline, kind of like our hot and warm list. We need to talk about what's coming on the market, what CMAs we're working on. And there's a list of all the different properties that we may have done CMAs for that they're not quite ready to pull the trigger yet, but it's all listed there by property type so we can see what's coming up. Then we'll talk about our current listings, any issues we're having, pricing issues, showing issues, share that with the team. Open houses. We'll talk about who's going to host open houses or what open houses we need help with, then throw in a little more ninja. So we were watching the weekly ninja action tip video. Now my son is just in the middle of an internship through high school. He's job shadowing our team. So he's reading the ninja selling book. And now every week at our meeting for the next 2 months, he's going to bring a 2-minute update on what he's reading on ninja selling. And as a side note, Eric, this was a huge bonus for me. I read the book, right, years ago, went to the classes, I've got a coach, all that stuff. But I got the book on tape and I'm listening to it again. It's great that it's read by Larry. And I'm going through the whole ninja book. We're doing that at least once a year as a team. And I'm still finding things that I can tweak in my business that are part of the process that don't take a lot of time, that I've used that in place of some other podcasts. Not the Ninja Selling podcast, but other podcasts.
So you're incorporating ninja in many ways into your team meeting, keeping everyone on the path.
Yep. And then Joan comes in for marketing. We talk about what's going out in flow, what went out in flow, whose turn is it for the local love update, who's doing a video, where are we doing a video. Sometimes we don't do video. We just do photography and interview somebody locally and put together a little Facebook post. And then what's kind of neat after that is just an open team sharing. Do you have any AI tips? How are you using AI? Any aha moments that you had last week that we think we could benefit, or any interactions with other realtors or other clients that you want some help with? We'll spend a little bit of time brainstorming those ideas. And then really it's just any new business, any new topics we want to bring up. And then I usually end with a thought of the week. Now we're on to mastery. To keep it short, we're just reading one sentence, talking about it. What does it mean to you? So we'll all have gone through that as a team and sharing those comments with that too. And then we kind of wrap up.
John, that is an on-purpose meeting. That's a valuable meeting that aligns with your purpose. A reminder for people who've been through Ninja, you remember the energy quadrants, right? In any point in time, your mindset, your energy can be in one of 4 places. It's either high or low. It's either positive or negative. Imagine a quadrant using those 2 metrics. In Ninja leadership, we're taught you want to begin a meeting and end a meeting in a high positive quadrant. So you always get the meeting started in high positive. You always want to finish high positive. So you start with gratitude and your word of the year. That's high positive. You finish with the thought of the week. Reading mastery, the Ninja prayer. That's high positive. So you're following the formula.
Great. That sounds good.
John, how have you leveraged coaching to help you in this growth?
Yeah. So shout out to Tracy, my coach. We connected from day one and haven't looked back. For me, being a seasoned agent, I've been in it since 2013. I've been with Tracy coaching for at least 3 years now. Wasn't sure what I needed, if I needed a coach, needed to get to the next level, and learned more after going through the installation. I got a great broker who supports us and helps us in any and every way possible, but I needed somebody not attached to this area or this market that I could, as a team leader, I needed somebody to talk to, right? I can't always talk to my team about some things. So some things, they involve the team. So I need to involve her. It's been really instrumental with the conversations we have and the value she brings and you guys bring with coaching is this business planning process. Before that ninja planning process, I remember one year I had like a 60-page business plan or 30-page. It was ungodly large, and I didn't use it. It was all boilerplate stuff. And now I really feel in the third year doing this, I'm so much more on purpose than on accident. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. We're looking at my business plan at least once a month from cover to cover. I'm reading through it all. I just don't put it in my briefcase and carry it around with me everywhere we go. And Tracy does a good job of looking at that and suggesting things a little differently and making suggestions for improvement. But really, that coaching is brought to me, not just the interaction I have with the coach, but all the other opportunities you guys make available to us. It's just been fun to get to know some of the other coaching members. And I wish I wouldn't have just gone to Ninja Now last year. I would have gone to this one again, but that one sounded fun with the coaching people. It's a good group, and I think I could call anybody that's been on a podcast before, and we're just so giving and open and answering questions and trying to help each other. That scarcity mindset's kind of gone, right? It's just there's abundance mindset. We're here to help each other out too if we can.
Yeah, you've created the Z crew, and this is another crew of people who
coaching
support
crew.
each other and have each other's back. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so I've been really good about putting in my weekly agenda to her, so it's not something if I don't get it, I'm not getting a call from Tracy at 10 a.m. Monday morning, where's your agenda? But 85% of the time she has it in her mailbox by Sunday night or Monday morning. It helps me celebrate the successes from the previous week, look at what aha moments were there. And I think that's been key, is me doing that weekly agenda to help me stay on purpose and not just go into the week with what appointments do I have, but all the other stuff. What are my goals for Q1 and what am I going to focus on this week? So that's been really helpful too.
Glad to hear that. For everyone listening who runs a team or is thinking about it, we have team coaching. We help people like John. We can help you build your team, figure that out, design the structure, help you to elevate your team. We're here to help. John, any advice that you would give for people in the Ninja Nation?
Oh boy, a lot. But the thing that gets me started every morning is my mindset and my mindset activities, right? It starts out with 3 gratitudes. I write my affirmation 25 times. I look at my life list every day while I'm writing my affirmation. So there's 4 quadrants of my life list. I write 5 affirmations, read 1 quadrant of my life list, write 5 more, read the next quadrant. So I'm reading mostly out loud in my office in the morning when everybody's sleeping so they can't hear me, my affirmations and also my life list. So that stuff is verbalized. My mind's picking that up. It's starting to get into my brain that this is what my life is about. And then I'll do my 10 minutes of reading, and then I'll do my exercise, and then meditation, and then breakfast, and then it's off to work. In the meantime, the family's up and we're saying hi. Luckily, I've just, no little kids running around the house. So it's a little easier right now, just a senior in high school left in the house. But that, to me, that morning mindset is so critical. And we're really trying to get our team is adopting that similar mindset that fits their own lifestyle. Maybe not just like I do, but to me, that's where my day starts. And then that's what keeps me going throughout the day, because I've got that already done and in my brain, and I know where I'm going. So, if you're not doing that kind of stuff, and, I do my best pretty much every day, at least 30 minutes of some type of physical exercise. I think that's so important to get your mindset there, whatever that may be. And, that whole morning mindset thing to me is so important. It just keeps me focused.
Absolutely.
So don't overlook that part of that process. Fit in what you can fit in, but just be consistent with that. That to me, I'm probably 99%, not 85%, because that to me is somewhat personally is non-negotiable, right? So
yeah, you've turned it into something akin to brushing your teeth.
Yeah, it's just Atomic Habits and all those books that are out there too that talk about habit stacking. That's kind of what I've done. I just stacked a habit on habit and habit, and now in the morning, all those little habits that are stacked up there turn into one big habit, and then I'm off to work. And most days in a really good mindset.
Well, we mentioned earlier the 3 keys to success: mindset, skill set, action, in that order. It's how you start your day, get yourself in that high positive mindset. Then you get your team in their high positive mindset.
Right.
John, you put us in a high positive mindset with all these great takeaways that you shared today. Again, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
On your continued success. And again, thank you for sharing so much with us and for helping elevate the whole Ninja Nation We so appreciate it. And we're just so happy that you joined us again here on the podcast.
Well, it's great. And surround yourself with good people that are better than you in some cases, and you're going to do great things. So that's what I'm thankful for, is that team I have that of just great people that are similar mindset people that want to provide the highest level of service they can, and they care about their client and care about doing the right things. It makes life a lot better when you've got a team like that. So I'm grateful for them every day.
Absolutely.
And you guys.
Well, John,
thanks, Eric.
Our pleasure. John, we're grateful to you. Grateful to all of you who yet again listened and engaged. Thank you so much for doing that.
As always, we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Take care.
If you enjoyed this episode, visit us at theninjasellingpodcast.com to learn more about ninja selling classes and coaching to get you started or further your journey on the ninja path.
Thank you for joining us. Now go have an incredible day.